Hello there guys and welcome, it's Niran here and today it is time for some more FIFA 14 Aston Villa career mode. This is technically the first episode of Season 2, incredibly. Although last week we did go into Season 2, but we started in Season 1. But this is the first full episode we've had in Season 2, and here I've just got a scout report from Germany, of centre-backs mainly. But yes, in this episode we'll be going through transfers, all of that shenanigans before the start of the season starts. And we'll also have the first friendly against Atletico Bilbao. I'll be playing that. The next one is against Real Madrid, actually, incredibly. And the one after that is against Palermo. I'll be simming that one, but I will play the Real Madrid game. But the first action of the episode is we do, in fact, sign Yuri Ignatovic, the Russian centre-mid, and Luka Longo, two young free agents. Pretty decent looking. I do find out they're both 59 stat in the end, which is a little bit lower than I would have hoped. But certainly for Luka Longo, he'll still have mid-70 potential. So he's still a relatively decent investment on quite low wages. We also managed to loan out Jordan Bowery on loan even to Stevenage. Now, going into this episode, I know that I need a centre-mid to replace Marco Van Ginkel, the defensive type of mid who will try and harry defenders and get the ball back and then start moves. And I made a video recently explaining that Sebastian Roda was that guy, so it would make sense if I decided to go and try and sign him from Frankfurt, a 23-year-old. I offered £5 million plus Yakuba Silla, a player who's on the fringes of the team, probably won't play that much this season. And I also went ahead and offered for Jori Kleise, the guy from Classy, even from Feyenoord. I don't particularly know how to pronounce that name, but I went for exactly the same offer, £5 million even plus Yakuba Silla, based on what my chief executive had told me. After that, just after I got an offer actually from Newcastle, £3.6 million for Ron Robert Zieler. Now I know, obviously, I don't want to sell this guy. In terms of players that I do want to sell, I don't really want to sell a huge amount unless they're really on the fringes of the team, because I already know I need a centre mid, I need a winger to replace Weimann, I need another centre back and a full-back in terms of depth for the season, because obviously we're going to be in the Champions League, which means fatigue will be huge this season compared to last season, there as we just learned out Daniel Johnson. But here's just confirmation of the friendlies that I will be playing against Atletico Bilbao and against Real Madrid, and then against Palermo being the third before the first game of the season. I think we'll be playing in the Community Shield, won't we, because we won the FA Cup. But here are just the stats of Yuri Ignatovic and Luka Longo there. Luka Longo being 17, just a year younger than Yuri Ignatovic, with both of them off 59 stats. Now just sending my 5-star youth scout, who I signed last episode, out to a certain country. Now, I haven't done as much recce in terms of countries that are the best to go for on this FIFA for youth scouting. I know that England was awful when I sent my previous scout there, but he wasn't a very good scout. He wasn't able to find anything in Germany either, so this time I'll be sending Evgeny Voinov to France to scout for any type of player for 3 months, and hopefully he'll bring me back some relatively good youth players. But the big news is Sebastian Roda's transfer offer of £5 million plus a player I don't even need was accepted, so I can go ahead and offer him a contract of 45 grand a week and 4-year contract length. I didn't put a squad role just yet because I don't feel as if I never really want to put those on unless I absolutely have to. So if that is rejected, then I will, if that's the reason for that. But just going ahead, just before I get that deal done, to see if there's any alternatives. And the first one being Nemanja Matic, playing for Benfica currently. Of course, he hasn't actually signed for Chelsea on this career mode. We've also got Jeffrey Kondogbia. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he plays for Monaco. Well, anyway, he says he plays for Ajax here, but he's another option. I don't know if he didn't have a team when the career mode starts. That'd be very odd if that's the case. But also now, Vladimir Derrida of SC Freiburg is the third option for that sort of holding midfielder, even if they're not, the defensive midfielder actual, position. Just someone who does that job. And then also Fernando, who was already on my shortlist playing for FC Shakhtar Donetsk at the moment. So they're the four options, as well as Sebastian Roda being Fernando, Derrida, Matic, and Jeffrey Kondogbia, of course, of Ajax or Monaco or whatever. Ajax on here. Nevertheless, I'm just sorting out my team then for this first friendly of the episode of the series of Season 2. And obviously, Bruma is injured. He tore his hamstring in a training injury, literally right at the start of the season, in the first day of the season. Whether that's an omen for the rest of the season, I'm not entirely sure. But I did want to get some young players into the squad. And as you can see just here, this is the team I'll be playing. Zieler with Klein, Clark, Vlar and Lowton at the back. Samir Carruthers, Clement Grenier playing his first ever game for Aston Villa with Fabian Dell. Then Jordan Graham and Leandro Bacuna as the wingers, with Gabriel Agbonlahor up front, giving Benteke and Backley a little bit of a rest, of course, with Bruma being injured as well. He can't play on the wing. Jordan Graham, though, did ask me before the game whether he could play, and I've played him before in cup games, and he seems to be a relatively good player. So I decided to give him a chance in the squad, and the first chance we get, Samir Carruthers cutting back, putting a ball into the box. It's headed away there, off the head of Gabriel Agbonlahor, and Jordan Graham there with the first chance of the game on the volley. Nice bit of technique, actually. Didn't really trouble the goalkeeper a huge amount, but it was a nice bit of technique nonetheless. Graham then played through again, this time by Agbonlahor, but a bit of a mix-up in the defence from Bilbao does end up putting Jordan Graham off. Clement Grenier, though, receives the ball, turns and gives it to Fabian Del. Grenier's first action in the team after his free transfer from Lyon, but Atletico Bilbao would get forward after a nice turn, a bit of a look there from Oscar De Marcos with the agility that he has, but a nice ball for Toquero. He cuts there, and it's a good save there from Zidane. I don't know why I said cut. I didn't say cut inside, but he didn't actually in the end. It is then cleared away. Atletico Bilbao get the header, but get the throw in even, and then the header, but we win the ball back. Agbonlahor gives it to Grenier, and the first time ball over top for Bacuna finds Gabriel Agbonlahor. Great bit of chest control, and then the touch, and a nice finish past the goalkeeper to give us a 1-0 lead in the 23rd minute, just 2 minutes literally after Ron Robert Zieler kept us at 0-0 after that great save from Toquero's strike after he was played through by De Marcos. So a really nice counter-attack in the end after they get the ball away. Jordan Graham part of it as well as Grenier, a really nice ball over the top for Bacuna, and a good finish as well for Agbonlahor. But Grenier getting the ball again, a nice little bit of a long shot, a bit of a half chance really, the keeper again, easily able to save it, but then Bilbao would go forward again, and a lot of their players were impressing me, especially this guy, Ibai Gomez and Oscar De Marcos, a great ball in, but a great punch there from Robert Zieler, really denying Toquero the header, and Toquero got forward again, this time giving it to Romaglio, and what a block there from Ron Vlaar there, the manual block. I actually had to slide tackle in, but Bilbao was starting to dominate into the second half there. Great tackle from Loden on Ander Herrera, another impressive Atletico Bilbao player. Ika Munyain wasn't playing, actually, I don't know if he was injured or just being rested, but Agbonlahor there gives the ball to Luca Longo, who came on as a substitute with Dwyer as well. Lowton gets the ball, Dwyer there obstructing the defender so he can't get to the ball, and a great header after the great crossing from Clement Grenier, getting his first ever goal for Aston Villa in his first ever game in this friendly. Not a competitive game technically, but really Luca Longo and Stuart Dwyer were really big influences in that goal. Max Meyer as well was influenced, but a bit before we got forward, and I didn't want to put the whole move in. Of course, those three came on off the bench. But Oscar De Marcos now getting forward again. Clark and Lowton unable to get there, and a really nice cross in, but a great save there, I think, from Kike Sola, his header. I went forward again though, Meyer and Graham combining brilliantly. The young guys were playing really well. Meyer then with another good ball in towards Jordan Graham, but for some reason, despite me not actually pressing anything, went for the header. A really nice bit of play, and Luca Longo was playing really well as well. But that was it. That was the final action of the game, and we win 2-0 thanks to goals from Agbonlahor and Clement Grenier in a game that looked really tricky actually. Atletico Bilbao obviously being a top 4 team if they have a good season, along with people like Real Sociedad in that sort of bracket. But the great players of the game, Matthew Lowton got man of the match, very closely followed of course by Clement Grenier, who got the same rating. Agbonlahor did well, as well as Klein, Vlaar and Clark, but an 8.4 rating there for Zieler, who's really starting to come into his own recently after a bit of a wobbly start, but he's doing well. Bacuna there impressing me as well, but there were young players, Longo, Graham, Meyer and Stuart Dwyer coming off the bench as well, really did well. Just a quick message there from Benjamin Segrist saying he's unhappy his role at the club, which is stupid at best because I didn't offer him a very high one, and also Jordan Graham there thanking me for playing him. But going now to the fullback, and we need a fullback to sort of press Klein and Lowton in competition really, and the guys I'm going for are as you could see the first time, Thomas Callas from Chelsea. You'll see if I can get him on loan. That might be a little bit of a tricky one, but we'll see. And Santiago Arias, the Colombian playing for PSV Eindhoven. But I've decided to send my GTN scouts now out to various countries. And the first one, Lee Craig, my English scout, will be going out to the Netherlands to see what he can scout there. And my 3-star, 5-star scout that I brought at the start of the season, Martin Rasmussen even, from Denmark, will be going to Spain, I do believe. Yes, he will. Now, having a look at the inquiries, and they're all stupid. Matic, 16.5 million, Kondogbia, 15 million, and Derrida, 19 million. So I decided to just completely ignore all of them and go for Sebastian Roda. So we have made our first proper signing of the transfer window of the season with Sebastian Roda there, the defensive midfielder from Frankfurt. Now we get a loan offer from Jack Grealish, actually from Juventus, which is really interesting. I think he's more likely to play here, but still, if it's going to get him some sort of experience, clearly it must do, or else they wouldn't have offered. But he will be going out on a season-long loan to Juventus, out to the Serie A. But we actually get an interesting offer here for Yoris Akore from 1899 Hoffenheim. Now, the offer was £5 million, which is above his value. But I decided to put a counter offer on that of 8.3 million. Now, 9 million actually. I changed it in the end. Forgot about that. Now, I don't hear back from them until next episode, so we'll see what happens with that. And we'll see whether they go forward for the offer. I don't particularly want them to. It's just more hassle in terms of defenders that I'll now have to go out and buy. I already need some depth in that position. But now, as we have a look at the quick shortlist, this isn't going to be a full look at the shortlist. This is just my outro. But I will go through the shortlist properly next episode in terms of players that we're going to buy. Obviously, we'll be trying to get a winger, a really established winger. That'll probably be the main signing of the whole transfer window after getting Sebastian Roda, and then a centre-back, and then a full-back, hopefully, as well. But I'm hoping you've enjoyed this episode with the first friendly of the season. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much, as we have a look there at Magnus Wolff-Eichel, an interesting-looking midfielder there from Hin and Bean, but obviously we've signed a centre-mid now, so we don't need to. I hope you have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye. You know what this is time for? It's time for analysis time. It says anal.